What's up, guys? Welcome to the second episode of X's and O's with Evan and Bros. I'm your gracious host, Evan, and sadly, I only have one bro with me today.
What's up?
Introducing our very own artist who created the X's and O's intro and outro, Mr. Tahsin Street Spitta Anwar.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Tahsin.
Woo! Good to have you, buddy.
Dude, I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Look at us.
I know.
I'm so happy to have you in studio.
Yep. Always on the mic though, especially Warzone.
Hey, no, we have been ass on Warzone recently.
It's been dead, yeah.
We started getting a lot of dubs in the beginning. Yep. There was a 3-day period where we got a dub.
In one day.
Dude, it was impressive.
Yep.
And then right now we're on that dry spell.
It's because they added 200 squads in one,
Yeah, the 200 squads I hate. If you play Warzone, you know what we're talking about. I fucking hate 200 quads. I already hate quads in general. More of a trios guy. And it's not working for me.
It never worked for me. I've been carrying my back, but it's made it a lot worse.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But so, tell me about the music.
All right. Yeah. So the music itself, I just the beat was put together, and then I just went on the beat, and it was just it took me a total of 30 minutes. If I'm not trying to flex.
I know. So for the audience, a little backstory. I text Tahsin. It's 10:30. It's late at night during June or during May. And I was like, hey, T, starting a podcast, starting a YouTube channel. I would love it if you could create my intro and outro music. And I sent him an example. I was like, this is kind of what I need. All I need you to include is the name of the song. And I think that was it, right? I was like, in sports, mention sports and that was it. I was like, just talk about sports, the name of the song, and that's it. Gets back, texts me. He's like, all right, I got you. Texted me 30 minutes later. He's like, how's this? Sent me the entire file for the outro and intro. And I was like, dude, this thing's fucking awesome.
Dude, I remember finishing it and I was like, should I flex on Edwin and be like, I'm done already? Yeah.
I sent it to the rest of the CEN crew. And I was like, my buddy just got me this within 30 minutes. And they were like, this is fucking dope. And it was, I'm happy with it. They're happy with it.
Dude, no, I remember it was a miracle to find a beat. It has a sports vibe to it.
Oh yeah,
with the background music, it feels like you're tuning into the prime time show.
It is the prime time show. That is what X's and O's with Evan and Bros is all about.
Yep.
Now on this show, we're going to discuss topics, and here they are in order. Patrick Mahomes' massive groundbreaking deal and how this affects the NFL. Does he deserve this deal? Did Kansas City capstrap themselves? Next one. Does Dallas feel pressured to deliver on a massive Dak deal now? What kind of deal can we expect for him? He is signing that franchise tag. You ready?
Yeah.
So we're going to give our top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL heading into the season. I bet we probably agree maybe on 2.
Yeah.
2, probably 2 or 3. We don't know each other's lists, by the way.
Yeah, we don't. But there's definitely one that
I think one we can agree is probably number 1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Old news, but cool news. Does Cam make the Patriots a championship contender? Or does Stidham still have the job, and are they tanking for Trevor? FedEx, who owns the stadium's naming rights since 1999, Redskins, that is, wants Snyder to change the name. What our replacement, what's our thoughts on it? Is a little too late? Are they behind is this more of a trend? It's what it seems like. We'll be calling Mr. Grant Plunkett to discuss the newly released MLB schedule. I can't believe they got a fucking deal done. I felt like a month ago they were like, baseball's dead.
Dude, I feel like everything about that sport sometimes is slow, but
It is the definition of a slow sport.
It's America's pastime, though.
And lastly, I am humble enough to admit I owe Zion a huge apology. last episode 1, I kind of gave him some shit. And he posted a photo recently over the weekend. He looks ready to ball. Will we agree? Who the fuck knows? But that is why you are here, the audience and listeners, to find out. Now, no more waiting. Tahsin, hit that intro.
X's and O's with Evan and Bros. Yeah. Okay, it's X's and O's with Evan and Bros. Of course, it's a talk show, man, talking about sports. The one and only Evan Miller, yeah, that's your host, doing analyzing with the side of jokes. Ayy, X's and O's with Evan and Bros. X's and O's with Evan and Bros. X's and O's with Evan and Bros. Ayy, analyzing with the side of jokes.
Back to topic number 1. Patrick Mahomes, Patty McBag just brought the cash home. He just he didn't rob Kansas City. He rightfully earned this contract, but the whole team, there is no other player that can sign with Kansas City now for forever.
Yep. For next decade.
We have some of the numbers because I tell you what, it seemed like every hour they reported like $400 million.
Yep.
It could reach $450 million, $500 million. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but he's getting the bag.
It was like an auction.
It was exactly like an auction. So let's see all right. So Patrick Mahomes signed. This was reported by Adam Scheffler. I don't know him, but Patrick Mahomes signed a 10-year, $450 million extension that could be worth up to $503 million. The extension includes a $141 million injury guarantee, as well as a no trade clause. I didn't know they did no trade clauses in the NFL.
I mean, it's a no trade clause, meaning that they can't trade him without his consent.
I know that.
Yeah,
that's what a no trade clause
I know.
means.
I'm saying like that. That's like so much. I don't know. That's a lot of.
Well, it's usually a thing you see in the NBA.
Right.
That's a common clause that's put into the NBA. So that's why I'm kind of surprised. I haven't seen it in the NFL. It marks the first time an NFL player has had the most lucrative deal. So going off of that, Tahsin, I definitely think Patty, he earned this deal. NFL MVP second year in the league. NFL Super Bowl champion third year in the league. Dude's got an arm that is blessed by Zeus himself. Or any god you believe in.
Well,
What do you take from the deal? You think he earned it, or do you think no, this is a stupid decision? He had maybe I don't know how this is a stupid decision because they locked up the best quarterback in the NFL for the next decade. So talk to me. What do you think?
So when you mention him being like, MVP first year round and then getting to a Super Bowl his third season, and the arm that he has, yeah, absolutely phenomenal. But if you were to tell me $503 million though, that's when it becomes like a question. I'm not going to question, what their deals, because obviously there's a lot of, they run through a lot of logistics. There's a lot of risk management.
There's a lot of people a lot of people behind these deals. Yeah, it's not just it's not just the Chiefs. I mean, I'm sure they talk to anybody they could.
Right. And, this is a professional agency that's going around doing this. So I'm not questioning any of that, but this is to say, like, there's three things that could happen. Either he's going to perform up to that number.
But that's a good question, though. Can anybody perform up to that number?
That's what
Seriously.
I'm saying. They put the numbers so high. It's like,
what do you do?
Exactly. But no, I definitely think, this man has a lot of, expectations are really high for him, and I think he can live up to those expectations. Crazy thing, though, I think we're going to start entering an era of Patrick Mahomes, slowly washing out of a Brady era of quarterback.
Well, and I'm not trying to make this a white and black thing, right?
Right.
But, and I don't know his top 5 NFL quarterbacks, but I think 4 of my 5 are African-American or of mix. Patrick Mahomes he has a white mom, but they have.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And so no more is it where it's the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Bradys, the Aaron Rodgers of the world. These not saying these white quarterbacks, but it's a different league now.
Right.
You're not going to see, and then, people have talked about this and hit it like a dead horse. It's no longer Peyton and Tom in the AFC Championship. It's going to be Patty and Lamar most likely.
Yep.
Just because of the teams that surround them, the talent's there, the management, that these organizations, the Ravens and Kansas City have been improving, and Ravens have always been a really good team.
Right.
And then Kansas City, since Andy Reid's gotten there, they've been nothing but lights out.
Yep. An explosive team. Both teams are
both team. Hollywood, wide receiving core with the Ravens, and then obviously Cheetah with Kansas City, both similar players, but obviously nobody matches Cheetah's speed. I mean, that guy is Tyreek
Hill, bro.
All right. So they obviously want to also pay Chris Jones. Probably, I heard some people say he's like a top 2 defensive tackle. He might think he's a top 2, right behind Aaron and Donald. I mean, it's hard. I don't know. It's hard because his sack numbers aren't the best. He does apply pressure though, and you need to get pressure up the middle. But I don't know how you can pay this guy $20 million. And obviously next year, Kansas City's the favorite.
Right.
They have all the pieces. Everybody's returning. I think 20 of the 22 starters are returning offense and defense. 20 out of 22. But in the NFL, it's so hard to repeat. I think they were saying the same thing about your Eagles the year they won it after. I think literally about the same number of starters were returned. I think they got better on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, they did, but the thing with NFL sports is people catch up to these game plans real quick.
Yeah.
They once they figure out your game plan, even if you're good at executing it, they'll be able. You have to switch it up. That's what the Patriots were good at doing. They're good at switching things up. One day it'll be the rushing game. The next day it'll be Tom Brady
killing you with the arm.
Yep. So that's what you gotta be. You gotta be able to switch it up, and that's the biggest thing. And the Eagles stuck to that, like Carson Wentz just taking hits, basically.
Well, I don't know if you have Carson Wentz on your top 5. Tahsin is an Eagles homer, 100%.
Well, dude, the Eagles.
Hey, I love Carson Wentz. I think he's the best quarterback out of the Dak, Jared Goff triangle. Right. And Dak's better than obviously Goff. Goff's ass. I think we can both agree Goff is garbage. I think Sean McVay could be thrown into their system and he would probably do better than Goff. He's also good looking too. Good looking son of a bitch. But I think this deal in the grand scheme of things is the right deal. It's the smart deal. You get it done. You lock up the best player in the NFL for 10 years. I mean, it's a win.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to realize that a big incentive for these players is the money. And it's like they start playing for that money, it gives them a better chance for them to perform up to this elite status. I mean,
I think the whole idea, and this is in a lot of sports nowadays, the team that drafts you, there's not really that loyalty anymore. There's loyalty. It depends who the person is. But I know if I was in any of these leagues, I mean, you could pretty much live anywhere nowadays. It's not like you're getting sent to the middle of nowhere if you get, because of social media and everything like that. So I think with the increase of these quarterback contracts, I mean, you have to pay these players because they can go anywhere now. I mean, look at whoever thought fucking Tom Brady would go to Tampa Bay.
The Buccaneers.
Tampa fucking Bay. I mean, come on. That's crazy talk.
Tampa Bay Bradeneers, bro.
Dude, I tell you what, the branding opportunities for TB and the Buccaneers, TB, it's perfect. It's actually a match made in heaven for talking about branding wise. If I was his agent, I was like, you get Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and basically fucking TB, take it. Anyway, we digress. We both agree.
Yeah.
This deal.
I think he definitely deserves it, but I think my argument side was it's just like it's a lot of money to live up to.
It's a lot of money. It is. But
so it's just like
I think we agree that he deserves this money.
Yeah.
And I think he can live up to it. I mean, Can anybody live up to $500 million? Probably not. But are the Kansas City Chiefs going to be back to the Super Bowl within those 10 years? That's what makes it worth it.
Right.
Are they going to, do they repeat? Do they get do they get to the championship again in the next 10 years? I think they do. That makes the contract worth it.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel like another thing that we forget to mention is just the fact that the revenues these teams are bringing in are a lot more than they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
So even when we say that the revenues are going down, it's going down, but the number in itself is still a huge number, right? So it's just like they had to factor in how much money Patrick Mahomes was going to bring into the team too, like whether it be like jersey sales or anything.
Well, and also they do realize that Mahomes, he is the face of the NFL now.
He is. And honestly, like even though he was on that, Madden cover, I feel like he'd be one of the few people that could break through that spell.
Yeah. I mean,
easily.
The dude is phenomenal.
Yeah. That arm, man.
That arm. All right, moving on. So kind of in the same vein of things, Dallas. Okay?
I hate Dallas.
Eagles fan hates Dallas.
I'm sorry.
Breaking news. Eagles fan hates Dallas. So they got Dak. Franchise tagged them. Now, are they going to continue do what the Redskins did with Kurt, where you just franchise, and you bet on yourself basically? Or all right, let's talk. What kind of ballpark do we think Dak's worth? $1 million. What do you think?
If I'm not trying to be that typical Eagles fan, but I'm just saying.
You do not think Dak's very good?
Well, I mean, like he's getting paid to basically throw screens, and it's just like when it comes down to it, like like he is like kind of in that like status of quarterbacks where they're like where they have to perform like really well, but like when it comes to like the ballpark of how much he's worth, I don't think he's more than like a third tier quarterback.
Third tier. So we're taking, how many are in your first tier?
5.
But that's okay.
So it's like the top 5. They're like,
so then second tier is another 5. So he's a top 15 quarterback?
No, I don't.
I would say he's probably a top 15 quarterback.
No, for sure. But I'm starting to think how many people I'd put in that tier 2. And it's just like, I don't know. When I start to think about it, like.
I'm not going to lie though. When you say 5 quarterbacks in your tier 1.
That's a lot.
I think we're coming into an age of a really good, if obviously Drew Brees is retiring after this year.
Right.
And Tom Brady, I mean, how many years does he have? I think he signed a 2-year deal with Tampa.
Right.
But I mean, that could go longer. It depends. It probably depends how the team does. If they constantly get a first round exit, wild card, I don't think he continues after 2 years. Anyway, I think, obviously, I think there's one king above everybody else. And then you can kind of, some guys, it'd be interesting to see our list.
Well, yeah, but I feel like when it comes down to it, it's just like, who would you have in that last 2 minutes of the game when you're down by like?
There's one guy.
Yeah.
There's one guy I really want. And actually, never mind. My number 2, I would take fourth quarter game-winning drive. My number 2, I would take. But my number 1 is still better all 3 other quarters.
Yeah.
So that's why I would still take my guy. But But you. So, does Dallas pay Dak? Would you pay Dak? Give me a number. What do you think? What do you think Dak is worth?
I feel like Dak would be worth in that mid 30 million.
Yeah, 35.
Yeah. So it's just like, I don't know, when it comes
34, somewhere in there.
I find myself screaming more at the television when Dak plays. But that's just me being an Eagles fan, and Eagles fans like to scream a lot. I don't know if you know that one YouTuber.
They scream at their own team, bro.
Oh yeah. I think Eagles have like the biggest reputation of giving their own team shit.
And for sure.
But that's just because, that's just the atmosphere in Philadelphia as a city.
It is. They give the 76ers shit.
Oh yeah.
Give the Fire shit. They give everybody shit. It's kind of it's a known thing going into Philly if you're drafted there.
Oh yeah.
Whatever major league sport you're doing.
Something in the cheesesteaks. Sure.
For sure. I think it's that fucking Rocky mentality.
Oh yeah.
If that movie wasn't shot there and was shot anywhere else or took place anywhere else, I don't think it would be the same persona around Philly. But because
maybe Boston.
I think Boston's the most racist city in the country.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not going to give. All right. Anyway. All right. We're getting off topic. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So I think Dak's probably worth around 34 mil. I think he can probably build up to incentives because Dallas is always kind of fall flat in the playoffs. I think Patrick Mahomes gets $1.35 million if he wins an AFC championship, if he wins an MVP. Do that kind of deal, Dak. If you believe that much in you, get a high guaranteed salary of 32, between 32 and 34. And I know athletes, it's tough because I know if I was in the league, I would want as much money as I want too. So it's easier for me to say, you're not as good as the other guy. You should probably take less because I know I would be trying to take as much money as I can too.
Right.
There's also, you got to not know your worth sounds terrible, but you got to know you got to read the room.
Right.
Because you're not worth what Patty's worth. You're not, you don't do what he does. That's just a fact. And I would argue with Amari Cooper, Gallup, and now CeeDee Lamb. Yes, Mahomes has Kelsey and Tyreek. I mean, and who thought Nicole was going to turn out how he did? Later round draft pick. Go dogs. Sick 'em. Anyway, who thought? But he did turn out. And Sammy's good. Don't get me wrong. Sammy Watkins is a good player.
Comes in clutch for them. He does.
Yeah. I think he's a good number 2. Sometimes he disappears and is a number 3. Obviously, probably Travis is number 1. Tyreek's number 2.
Right.
But I mean, Dallas, this is Dak's year. They have these weapons. They have Zeke. They come in. If he can lead them to an NFC championship, not saying win it.
Here's the thing, though. We're talking about the NFC East here.
It's garbage.
It's
usually.
It usually is, but like the thing is,
it's the most competitive one because they're all garbage.
They're all, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was getting at, though. That's the thing.
They're all 8-8, and it's just like
it'll be like 10-6, 9-7, 8-8, and then 4-12. I'm not saying it's the Redskins, but it usually is the Redskins.
Usually is the Redskins. They've been garbage pretty much my entire lifetime.
No, exactly. But the thing is, like, what you're gonna end up seeing is Dak's gonna have that like 10-6 record at best. Have to go through that first round, and then they're not going to get that bye. NFC East teams barely ever get that bye going into the playoffs.
That's true. They're usually that 4, 5, 3 wild card kind of deal.
So I'm saying like that road for him is a lot harder than other quarterbacks.
Agreed. And I'm not arguing that. I mean, I root for the Eagles in that division personally because I am a Carson Wentz believer.
Oh yeah.
So I do root for them. I also like, they kind of have they do have that underdog, just kind of swagger about them.
The jerseys are the color.
That green is kind of clean. It's kind of like a deep dark green. So I like the Eagles. I like Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the team I root for. But I think Dallas, again, they need to get over this. And they're bringing in Mike McCarthy.
Right.
New head coach. No more 8-8 Jason Garrett. So maybe this is the kind of thing that helps Dak. Mike McCarthy got a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Not saying Dak is Aaron. But he's got some ability. He's got toughness. He's got grit. Good leader, what I heard.
The coaching's there now.
Well, you hope.
Right.
Mike was fired.
He was, but like I'm saying, like Mike McCarthy was able to at least experience that Super Bowl. Like,
oh yeah. They have kind of credibility.
Right.
And somebody that's been there before.
I feel like the one thing that we're not saying is that we wouldn't be surprised if Dak went like 7-9.
No, and that's the thing. That's why do you pay him? Because I would not be surprised if Dak does go 7-9. Would I be surprised if Patrick Mahomes goes 7-9?
Exactly.
Yes.
That's why there's
100%.
Exactly.
That is why there is a difference. You're right. That's a good point. You're exactly right. All right, moving on. Now, you get to hear our list. A little fun. We always like to throw a little fun. I always like to, throw a top 5 in here, get some comparables, something that gives us something to talk about, flex our, And so our top 5 NFL quarterbacks. How it's going to work is I'm going to give my 5th place quarterback in the NFL. We'll see if we agree. If we agree, we get to talk about it. If we don't, then Tahsin gives his 5th. And then Tahsin will give his 4th. We might agree. And then we'll talk about it. So on and so forth. So, Mr. Tahsin.
Am I going first?
No, I'm going first.
Right, okay.
You did not hear anything I just said.
No, I was like... I deserve that.
Anyway, so my 5th quarterback in the NFL is your boy Carson Wentz.
Oh wow!
I'm going Carson Wentz 5th.
All right,
I'm going healthy Carson Wentz though. I'm not going one-legged Carson Wentz. I'm going healthy Carson Wentz.
Don't forget the healthy wide receiving core too.
A healthy wide. I mean, I would give it to him even if they were throwing to fucking guys off the street.
That's what he was doing.
I know, and that's why I'm taking Carson Wentz with my 5th quarterback. I love Carson Wentz. I really do. I think he was easily the best quarterback coming out of that class. I think he should have went number 1 instead of Jared Goff. He has the athleticism. He has that kind of, I feel like he has that it factor. That injury, man. He just got it. He has to get that in.
I mean, now he has Jalen Hurts behind him.
And I love the welcoming committee.
Yeah.
He was very supportive bringing in Jalen. He gets it's a business. He understands that I'm fucking glass, man. And I need somebody to come in here and, take some hits. And now maybe they bring some packages in, have Jalen maybe run some, not wildcat, but some fun stuff because Peterson is creative. So, we'll see. But I feel like Carson Wentz is my 5th quarterback. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Okay, I wouldn't necessarily.
Is he in your top 5?
He's not.
Okay.
He wasn't. I was gonna say right before I went in, honorable mention Carson Wentz.
All right. So he's right outside your top 5.
He's right outside.
He's in that tier 2.
Well, for sure. And he's definitely a quarterback with like Super Bowl, like I don't know, atmosphere behind him. Like I could see him like leading a team. And that's what he did before like Nick Foles had to like finish like that journey for him. But when it comes to Carson Wentz, I feel like he wants to take the hits. He'll be like slide tackle or sliding into like, like defenders. And it's just like, us as Eagles fans will be like, yo, like Carson Wentz, like chill out, bro. We need you for the rest of the game.
Right. Real quick, we're going to take a quick break. We'll return. Tahsin gave his 5th quarterback.
Take this moment to like and subscribe. And also follow us on the Instagram and Twitter at Curbside Entertainment and at Curbside Network. You can also find us on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to X's and O's with Evan and Bros. I'm here with Tahsin. Where we left off, we're getting our top 5 NFL quarterbacks. And my 5th was Carson Wentz. And let's hear it. What is Tahsin's 5th ranked quarterback?
Okay, so I feel like him at 5 might be a lot, not a lot, but a little bit higher than most people just because of his age. But Tom Brady at the Buccaneers.
Tom Brady's not in my top 5. So give me your reasoning.
Okay, so by the end of the day, like, yeah, so you can argue that Tom Brady was a program quarterback. You know, he was with Bill Belichick, and like, you know, he was just like, you know, that might have been a lot of the reason as to why he did so well. But at the same time, like, he was
because of the system.
Yeah, the system, exactly. So like, but he is also like a product of the system. So like, you can still argue that like he still has it in him, and he's going into a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with Mike Evans and Godwin, and it's just like
OJ Howard.
Yeah, and
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. But
Roll Tide.
I'm saying, like, by the end of the day, like, look at that division too. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on. Now you have Gurley with the Falcons.
It's probably... Oh, hold on. Gurley's not going to do anything with the Falcons. His knees are shot.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like I see, like, all the Falcons fans, and they're like, oh, my God, now we have a running game. I'm just like...
Gurley's right here.
No, but I'm just saying, like, at the same time, it's just, like, that division, like, we talked about the NFC East earlier, but the NFC South is also, like... They'll be amazing some seasons, but other seasons...
Well, what? They haven't had... This might have been the first year in a while. I'm not... Correct me if I'm wrong. They rarely repeat the champion.
Right.
They're always Eagles win the division. Saints win division. Obviously, Tampa hasn't really been competitive. It's usually between the 3, Panthers, Falcons, and Saints.
Right.
But now... Obviously, you could probably take the Panthers out, most likely. I like Teddy B, but you could probably take him out, throw Tampa in that spot.
Right.
Actually, you know what? No, I mean, I think I give Teddy B a shot because Joe Brady's there, and what he did with LSU, making them a passing college.
Yeah.
I give him the credit, not Joe Burrow. I know some of you people are going to hate me for saying that, but fuck Joe Burrow. It was all Joe Brady as the passing coordinator.
Well, I could see the Buccaneers finishing like a good second in that division
Behind the Saints?
Right. And it's just like I'm not trying to give the Falcons shit, but I'm just saying, like,
no, I think Falcons are easily the third team.
Right.
Probably third team. Third or fourth, depending how.
But yeah, no, but it's like by the end of the day, it's that wide receiving core for me that makes Brady like
the fifth
like,
quarterback.
But it's just like obviously like you don't consider like, excuse me, my bad, but like you don't consider like wide receiving cores like into a quarterback's like, you know, like characteristics. Like, you know, this quarterback's good because he has a good wide receiving core. Obviously not, but I'm saying like Tom Brady still hasn't shown any like major like decay into his like play, in my opinion. You know what's funny about that? So your 5th spot is because of the receiving. Both of our fifth spots are because of the receiving core. Mine's because of lack of receiving core, and yours is the product of a receiving core. No, which is kind of, and we don't know how he's going to play with these guys yet. No, I mean, but right? No, and that's the thing though with the receiving cores. It's just that if you have a good receiving core, that gives a chance for the quarterbacks to like show their arm, and it like. Well, what he has left. Right. Yeah, what he has left. But I still feel, I mean, that's why he's my 5th, and he's probably like the oldest. I like the 5th. I'm not mad at it. Right. I'm with you. Is he the only white guy on your list? Yeah. So you have him over Aaron Rodgers, because I obviously have Carson Wentz over Aaron Rodgers too. I love Aaron Rodgers, but yeah, I do. More of a Jordan Love kind of guy. Really? I can't wait till that controversy starts. I wonder how the locker room is. Stressful. Oh, yeah. All right. So Tom Brady, 5th spot. Not mad at it. Future Hall of Famer. Probably the GOAT. He's the GOAT. So let's hear it. What is your 4th quarterback in these rankings? My 4th quarterback would have to be Deshaun Watson. I have Deshaun on my list. He is also the 4th. Had to think about it. He's the 4th quarterback. We both agree. We both have Deshaun as our 4th quarterback. So you go first, and then I'll tell you if I agree with our reasonings. So when I think of Deshaun Watson, you know, it's just like, you know, quarterbacks that have, you know, like think of beating Alabama. Oh, I mean his 2nd try, not the first try. There's that, but broke like my fucking heart. I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons ago. Like he had like games where like it would just be off and off. Like he would just go off like every game, and it's just like
before he tore his ACL.
Right. No, that was before.
Yeah.
And
before was that his rookie year?
Yeah, it was his rookie. I'm pretty sure it was his rookie year.
And then he tore his ACL like halfway through the season because they were putting up monster numbers on the offensive side.
Crazy numbers. And I was just, and it's like, yeah, an ACL tear like definitely does factor in a lot.
I've torn my ACL. Fucking blows.
But
get it?
but
both of those work.
Both of them work. But nonetheless, he is an athlete, and he is like, you know, when we're thinking of these, like when we go into I
think he's a better thrower of the ball than Lamar.
For sure. But Lamar also has a.
Hey, I think we both have Lamar higher on our list, so let's just wait till our reasonings for Lamar. But keep going.
You don't want to like spoiler alert.
No, we don't want to. But spoiler, Lamar's higher on the fucking list.
No, but it's just like I see. Okay, so Jameis Winston, like I hate putting his name into this, but like I'm not saying he's like, you know, like an elite quarterback, but it's just like when it comes to like athletes, they're very similar athletes, and it's like
no, they are not similar athletes whatsoever.
No, I'm saying like the whole like I don't know how to explain it, but like when we think about like quarterbacks that like Jameis Winston for sure is not like top tier at all.
Well, I'm not, but when you say athlete, Deshaun is Jameis Winston's kind of slow. I don't know if you've seen him. He's more of like a Big Ben kind of athlete versus Watson's kind of more in the vein of he is not Lamar Jackson, but he's more athletic than like Patty Mahomes, and he's more athletic than Russell Wilson. He's more athletic than he's probably like if Lamar Jackson's the peak of athlete quarterback, right? Fast, you know, can do all these things. He's probably second in the league. Athleticism goes behind, and then probably Russell's third athlete probably at the quarterback position.
Right.
Just the runner of the ball.
Yeah, no, I guess I let the ACC like kind of get into my head right there.
Well, the ACC is ass.
Yeah, no.
But don't let that come into play here. This is the NFL.
No, this is the NFL. But I guess going back to my point, the reason I have Deshaun at number 4 mainly is like his athleticism.
Agreed. And he is. I'll let you finish your point and then I'll come in.
Well, no, I'm just saying like with interceptions, like definitely should tone the number down a little bit, but
he's a bit of a gunslinger.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, and also, I mean, I don't know if you took this into account, but no more Hopkins.
Right.
So we'll see how that factors in, but it's still a Fuller.
Will Fuller the 5th.
So who's a beast?
Yeah.
Dude can take the fucking roof off the place. So we'll see how that goes. I still think, I honestly agree with you. Deshaun's my 4th ranked quarterback. And I think that relationship in the Houston organization is interesting with Bill O'Brien. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next, because Deshaun's got to get paid.
Right.
Same draft class as Patty.
It's so interesting to think though.
It's weird to think about. It is. But yes, so I think Deshaun has all the tools. I think Deshaun has all the tools to be the number one ranked quarterback on this list. But the way they blew against Kansas City. Now, I think that's a testament to how great Patrick Mahomes is in that offense.
But it was also a testament for Deshaun Watson.
It is, and that's why I think he is 4th. That's why I think he isn't 3rd, or I don't know if he can go as high as 2nd, but at least 3rd. All right, so we both agree. Tom Brady.
I feel like our lists are turning out a lot more similar than we thought.
We are well, I bet our 2 and 3 changes.
All right.
I bet our 2 and 3 is different. I'm about to get my 2. So he has Tom Brady and Deshaun Watson, 5 and 4.
Right.
I have Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson, 5 and 4. Now my 3rd ranked quarterback.
All right.
I'm going Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There we go. You see that? You see that? See that expression? Bam! Sniper came out of nowhere.
All right, yeah.
I'm going Lamar Jackson. the Madden cover athlete. I'm going Lamar Jackson, number 3. Now, my reasoning, okay? I still don't think he's gotten, obviously, from his rookie year to last year, NFL MVP, he's gotten tremendously better. And I'm expecting another jump.
Right.
But again, this is why the reason why he's number 3 is because of how highly I think of 1 and 2. And I think Lamar's going to be him and Patty AFC Championship for the next 10 years. I do believe that.
Well, no, I think you're definitely right in the fact that you've only had 2 seasons.
Yeah, and so he's just going to get better and better. And that's why my number 2 has been in the league for a little while.
Right.
It doesn't feel like a while, but I guess if his age and the way some of these years work, he's been in a while. But my number 2 is a Super Bowl champion.
Right.
No, I don't want to blow my load, but
I feel like your number 2 might be my number 3. So.
I think my number 2 is your number 3. So Lamar's on your list.
Right.
You don't have to spoil which number he is. He's obviously not number 3 though.
He's number 1.
Is he really?
No.
Oh, I was about to say. My mind was about to be blown. No. I was about to do your expression. But I'll leave it at this. Lamar Jackson is going to improve. He's still only. Has he turned 23 yet? Is he still 22?
I don't know specifically, but you're right about that improvement. But I feel like that'll have to
reps.
come with
It's just reps
and maturity.
Yeah, and it's going to come. That's the thing. So again, next year he's probably number 2. Is he ever going to take over number 1? That's a fat no. But I think he will win a Super Bowl in the next 10 years.
All right.
Yeah, I think he will win a Super Bowl. I think all 3 of these guys in the next, 10 years will win another Super Bowl.
No, I think it'll definitely be an interesting rivalry coming up between these quarterbacks.
Oh, I think it's perfect for the league.
Oh yeah.
To have Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson.
Growing up, we had like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Those were like the quarterbacks. Like when they'd go up against each
Colts, Patriots, AFC Championship, year in, year out.
And it'd be so fun to watch. But now like the game's different. These aren't pocket passing quarterbacks.
Mahomes is way more athletic than both, but he's still in the vein of.
Well, no, for sure, but I'm just saying, like, it's just like the feel is different.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's a faster paced game.
Right.
It's more, if to beat Kansas City, you got to score over 30.
Exactly.
So my number 3 quarterback, Lamar Jackson. Don't give me any fucking hate. Tahsin Anwar.
My number 3 would have to be Russell Wilson.
See, our top 3, our top 4 are all the same quarterbacks.
And honestly, I don't see how anyone's would be all that different.
Yeah.
In terms of the names, I can see how like the number you can make like arguments as to how they're different. Like why?
I think Russell Wilson solely is in the top 5 just based off Sierra. Honest to God.
See, that is.
She's about to burst right now. She's still gorgeous. She's beautiful. But keep going. Russell Wilson's not bad looking either.
So
kind of look like Russell Wilson.
I mean,
have you heard that before?
Yeah, I have. I didn't know how to take it in, but I was just like, I take it as a compliment because that means that I could land someone like Sierra. So
yeah. Yeah, he got the curly hair. I think
he lucked out.
Oh, for sure.
He lucked out a little.
He lucked out in his whole Seahawks, Sierra, everything. But keep going.
Okay, so with Russell, I don't think there's much to be said. I think when it comes to like top 3 quarterbacks, it's just like he performs at that level, and it's like even like
the way he carries himself, the type of man he is. I mean, he has that it factor, winning a Super Bowl second year.
Yep.
I mean, it blows my mind that he has not won NFL MVP, and it's robbery that he hasn't, because that Seahawks team is not built it's not quarterback friendly.
It's not. It's really not. But like at the end of the day too, it's just like, when it comes down to it, like, I didn't play much football. I didn't. But
what?
But like I'm saying, like when it comes down to it, like, you like a lot of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Chemistry. Mm-hmm. And a lot of like how you see like the quarterback is by the end of the day, like not always, but like the leader, right? And it's like
a persona that comes with the position, correct?
Yeah, exactly. The persona that's really well put. But
thank you. I have some of those moments.
Russell, I feel like does a really good job with that persona. And it's like when it comes down to it, like you have people out there like Johnny Manziel and like people like that, and it's just like a lot of people also love those kinds of quarterbacks just because they have that celebrity feel to them. But when it comes to me, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of like someone who's has like the characteristics of like a good leader, the humbleness, but yet like the confidence.
Well, it's like a silent confidence,
right?
Because he's gonna bring it. He's gonna be the most prepared person in the room. You never have to worry about Russell Wilson not being prepared.
Oh, exactly. It's like it's his job. He just goes in.
It is his job.
I mean, it is. But I'm saying like the way he executes it, like with other quarterbacks, it's like, is it your job to be the quarterback or a celebrity?
That's true. That's fair. He puts the job first,
right?
And then he's that well liked where the celebrity part comes with.
Exactly. And Sierra too.
And Sierra,
but
no, I love your third pick. I love your third pick because your third pick is my second quarterback on the list. Russell Wilson's my second quarterback for all the reasons why you said that he is your third pick. So I'm guessing that's all I have to say on that because he's pretty much said it all for me. Russell Wilson's the leader. He has as many he has the most winning record, I think, behind Tom Brady since coming into the league in like 2012. The Seahawks don't lose.
They don't. And
he has turned. I never heard of the Seahawks prior to Russell Wilson getting drafted there.
No, I remember growing up like in middle school and high school.
With Sean Alexander and stuff like that.
No, but like we never could do. The Seahawks are like they were never like in question. Like it's like, all right, they're playing the Seahawks. Like that's great. Like I don't really want to watch. Like
no, it's that Pacific North team. Who gives a shit?
Right.
But guess what? He made them him and Pete Carroll both. Not trying to take anything away because I think Pete Carroll's a top 5 NFL coach. They have turned that franchise into a contender year in and year out. So that's why he is my number 2. Tahsin.
I think you already know my number 2.
I better know your number 2. You better not drop a bomb right here.
Yeah, Jameis Winston is my number 2.
Yeah, he's talking so highly as Jameis Winston with the 4th pick.
No, but Lamar Jackson. The reason he's at my number 2 is because I do see him getting better. I think his like
the talent is there. I am not taking away the talent. I'm thinking if we do this list next year, maybe Lamar is my number 2.
Right.
But as of right now, I still have Russell Wilson as my number 2. But go ahead.
No, I remember him coming into the draft. I remember telling all my friends, I was just like, dude, watch. Lamar's going to be a flop. Like, just watch. And
you dumb piece of shit. I was not thinking that. The whole time, if I was a GM, call me, by the way. I'll be great at it. I would have done exactly what the Ravens did.
No.
If you saw him fall that far, trade back into the first round and you take a chance on a guy that has these capabilities that everybody doesn't have.
Right. No, I mean, it's just like that one clip. I don't know if you know that one clip of him, like, I think it was in high school football or was it JUCO? I don't know. But like he was where he just like stops right at the end zone and then like
that's high school.
Yeah, that's high school, right? And it's just like I think people knew then and there that he had that like instinct in him.
Yeah. And
that instinct doesn't even come with a lot of elite, like sometimes like you could argue that like Tom Brady doesn't have that like athletic instinct in him. But like
I would argue he does not have that athletic instinct in him.
But with Lamar, I see that it kind of clicked in him. That like he knows when to utilize it. You know, I don't know if you said you watch Avatar, right?
Big Avatar: The Last Airbender guy.
You know, like how like Aang like had to like learn when to use the Avatar state and stuff, and it's just like
couldn't just rely on it.
He couldn't rely on it, yeah. So he's just like, I wish I could just go into Aang. Kind of like was annoying for like a lot of the show for me, up until when he started to like actually like mature, and I was just like, all right, I like him more. I mean, that was me growing up watching it.
I like in the 3rd season when he's kind of pissed off all the time.
Yeah, no, that's when I started
early on in the third season after Azula lightning strike the shit out of him.
Yep.
Anyway, we're all, that's a different show. Check out Geekdom Kingdom when that comes out.
No, but like in that example, like I think if Lamar, I think what we might see for the next 10 years with that $503 million contract is a Lamar versus Mahomes like
AFC Championship.
Yeah, and it's just like how Peyton Manning and Tom Brady would go at it. Now it is more up to Lamar to live up to that hype than Mahomes, because we already expected of Mahomes. We already, like, if Mahomes didn't live up to it, we'd be more surprised. But with Lamar, we're questioning it more. You know, it's just like, all right, is Lamar Jackson gonna do it? You know, is he gonna be it for the Ravens? He's definitely, like, you know, a top tier quarterback now, but like we don't have a lot to base that off of.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because these two quarterbacks, one's came from Louisville,
right?
One came from Texas Tech. Both were really putting up. One's a Heisman winning quarterback.
Right.
The other is not. I still thought talent was there, obviously. This is Texas Tech. Oh, yeah. No, I love that Lamar's your number 2. I think most people would have him at number 2. Because I think he's earned a top 3 for sure.
Oh yeah.
With his play. And again, he is only going to get better. So, all right. On number 1.
We already spent a lot of time talking about him already.
I know, we already did. So, the $500 million man, Mr. Patty Mahomes, is our number 1 quarterback. And you're right, we've already spent a lot of time gushing over this man. So I'm going to be short and sweet. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback that's been in the league for the last, 20 years. As long as I've been watching the NFL, there's not a guy who I've been like, I am in love with this dude. I want him. I want the Kansas City Chiefs to be on TV every day. Yeah. He makes it. So the NBA is my favorite professional league. He makes it more like the NBA. Oh yeah. He brings that it factor, that like star.
Kuzma and like those guys, like the younger guys.
Well, it's like but like you watch the NBA for the players.
Right. Exactly.
NFL, you kind of watch for your team. You watch for the brand.
That's the difference, yeah.
But he makes it where you watch for him.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, even if I'm not a Kansas City fan. I want them to go to 7 Super Bowls in a row.
I'd like Andy Reid to do that.
But Philly loves Andy still.
Oh yeah, we love Andy.
No hard feelings there, and I think Andy still loves Philly. I'm going to keep it short because we both have him number 1, and we've talked about him a lot today. There isn't a talent like him throwing the ball in the league. There's not the creativity. He plays loose. He just learned how to read coverage.
Oh, yeah.
In his second year. Halfway through his second season. Did you see that when he was talking about that?
It's just he adapting. He's just quick, dude. His brain, he brings in like a different feel to the game now.
He's kind of got like a Brett Favre fun way he plays. Just a funness to it, right? He enjoys the game. It's obvious. And then... he's a better athlete than Brett, I think. And then obviously I didn't watch Brett in the 90s, but he is the best talent of throwing the ball maybe ever.
Brett Favre?
No.
Mahomes. Oh yeah. Mahomes. I was like,
Brett Favre's close. Yeah, Brett Favre is up there, but Mahomes is, I think, a better arm.
Oh yeah.
So I want there to be a Kansas City dynasty. I want Mahomes to win 6 MVP. I want him to be the GOAT. When it's all said and done, I think he will be the GOAT. And
I think he saved the NFL too.
I think he did save the NFL. I think him and Lamar Jackson are saving the NFL.
They are. It was slowly a little bit dying if I'm not going to. I mean, I love football. I would love for it to stay, but it was just like.
There's just been a lot of controversy around the NFL. Oh, yeah. So I just think having these two guys usher in, and Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson. usher in.
None of these guys even have that many contracts. Like they don't bring in like
They don't have the baggage.
Yeah, they don't. It's just playing football and doing like crazy things on the field.
So,
Yep.
I don't know if you have anything to say.
No, I don't. I think I let it all out.
Yeah, we talked about it enough. So Mahomes is our number one quarterback. All right, our next segment, we have old news but cool news. I'm gonna keep this short. Cam going to the Patriots. Congrats, Cam. I knew you would get a job. I thought it was criminal that he didn't have a job. I still think he is a starting quarterback in the NFL. So that being said, do I think he will start for the Patriots? I think he will start for the Patriots. I think Bill wants to prove that it's him and not Tom, just like how Tom wants to prove that it's him and not Bill. So I think they're going to adjust the offense.
You think it's going to go both ways?
What do you mean?
You think both of them are going to be able to prove that?
I mean, now that Bill did sign Cam, before I was like, oh, they're fucking tanking. I was like, Bill's playing for the next decade, getting Trevor or Justin, whoever they choose, because I think they're both really good. I think now he's like, all right, let's get him in the system, whatever it takes. Let's get him to learn it, and we're going to come in fucking swinging. And so I think the Patriots probably now, I think the Bills give them a run for their money. But I still think the Patriots, is it going to be a 14-2 kind of year?
Oh, no. I don't.
No.
And I think
10-6?
People are sleeping on the Bills, too.
I just told you. I said it's going. The Bills are going to give them a run for their money. I think you could see two teams where it's a two-legged race,
right,
between the Bills and the Patriots. I'm not a Josh Allen guy. I'm not. I don't.
He's definitely not in that elite tier, but he does come in clutch for the Bills.
There's moments.
Yeah, he has his moments.
And he's young still. He's still a young dude. And so it's just like I'm not there yet where I'm like, all right, this guy's going to lead. I'm more of a believer in Cam,
really,
than I am in Josh.
See, I'm the opposite, I'd say.
Ooh.
And
got a little. I like this. I like it when we fight.
No, but it's just for me. It's just like. Sure, there's been moments when like Cam has proved himself to be that quarterback, but at the same time, like
he won an MVP, right?
No, I know. I'm not trying to act like he's Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston definitely has had way more time on the show than he deserves, but
he really has it. I don't want to say anything about Jameis Winston, but I think being in New Orleans is going to reintroduce the league to Jameis Winston.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I know you've probably been wanting to say that. Are you a big Jameis Winston guy?
No, I absolutely hate Jameis Winston. But
could have fooled me.
The only person I hate more than Jameis Winston is Cam Newton.
Auburn.
Yeah, and a lot of it does have to do with Auburn. I'm not gonna say like obviously, but like I did kind of grow up calling him Scam Newton. I'm not gonna lie, but it's just like, and it's the fact that he also went to the Panthers and being in the state of Georgia. It's just like. Yeah, I
like the Panthers. Panthers are one of my favorite teams.
Oh no,
I have a couple, but
it's just like with Cam Newton, it's just it doesn't make like I don't know if you've seen the TikToks. It's just like Cam's gonna be on the field like calling his own plays, and it's just like Bill Belichick's like what did you forget that this is a system?
Cam is just we're just gonna throw the ball and just gonna fucking.
That's a good impression.
Give me my hoodie.
No, but the thing is, like, you have Bill Belichick's program. Cam's gonna have to follow his plan. He's not gonna go on there and call audibles. Yeah, I mean that's my 2 cents on it.
What's the record?
I'd say they go 10-6.
Okay, we're in agreement.
Yeah,
I said 10-6. Yeah. I could see 10-6 and maybe. Last game of the year. I don't know the Bills' schedule or when they play their last time, but that decides the division. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll return with the Redskins. That should no longer be their name.
Take this moment to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Curbside Entertainment and Curbside Network, respectively. You can also find us on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Welcome back, guys, to X's and O's with Evan and Bros. I am your host, Evan. Mr. Anwar's with me.
I'm right here.
Yeah, you are. And moving on to FedEx.
Yep.
They want Washington to change their name.
So it was, I think, mainly FedEx and Nike. So Nike took...
Well, they took all their merchandising off the website, right?
Right. So you have to, like, can't search up, like, the Washington Redskins and then get what you want, you know.
Big dick move.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then FedEx, what's his name? Fred Smith? Fred Smith was a prime, or not, he was a minor stakeholder.
He's a minor stake owner, and they own the naming rights to the stadium since 1999. So they are encouraging Snyder to change the name. Now, this has been a thing. I mean, I feel like they've been wanting Snyder to change the name forever. Now,
well, the thing is, they haven't really said anything specifically. We're talking about FedEx and, you know, Nike. But when it comes down to it, like a lot of other people, especially the Native Americans, have been asking. They've been requesting it for a minute. We haven't gotten any sort of like news on it. They just kind of ignore it. But the moment that FedEx, you know, the people that have like, you know, like stakes in the company or stakes in the team said something, Snyder was just like, all right, we'll see what we can do about that.
Well, they haven't said anything yet. They've said they're putting a team together to evaluate the team's name, which fucking duh. We talked about this a little earlier off camera, and I hate this. I hate the narrative of trying to course correct or just trying to follow a trend, because you should have been on top of it 10 years ago or 20 years ago.
It makes you wonder, like, what made you do it now? Like,
well, you know what made them do it now, but like, it's just, that's the thing I hate though. And so I hate this idea of people trying to be like all righteous now with it. Like, we're on the right side of history. No, you should have been on the right side of history 20 years ago. Now, do I hate the Redskins name? I am not Native American.
Right.
So it does not, I'm indifferent towards it, if I'm being honest. But if it upsets, this is how I feel with everything. If it upsets a group of people, whoever you are, if it upsets you, change the fucking name. I mean, why do you need to keep it Dan? Why?
No, exactly. Now, I feel like there are other team names that are going about, but I feel like when it comes down to it, you know, we got to look at FedEx too. You know, he said he's trying to, like, you know, like follow a trend. I feel like he's just trying to avoid cancel culture.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's trying to be like, I don't want my company FedEx. But this is UPS to take over.
No, but that's the thing. Like, you know, if we're gonna like come at his throat a little bit, this is the same FedEx company that fired 2 African Americans.
Yeah, after that incident where they got had altercation.
Yeah, they got harassed on the job, and they straight up fired the 2 African Americans, and cancel culture didn't like that too much. So, you know, I think he realizes that like he's kind of under like a little bit of a hot seat. So he decided to take this stance right here.
Wait, real quick, I don't want to get totally off topic. What's your opinion on cancel culture?
Okay, so
is it right? Is it wrong?
I feel like
quick thoughts.
I feel like the purpose is right. The purpose is right, but I feel like they take it too far.
Who's they?
It's hard to say.
The mob?
Yeah, the mob in general.
The media mob that is Twitter.
No, because if you were to ask somebody in cancel culture, why are you so quick to cancel somebody? It's like they need to learn their lesson, but that almost makes it seem like they're kind of extreme. And it does go to an extreme, because a lot of the time what ends up happening, or not a lot, but like one of the biggest things that could end up happening is what if you cancel someone that didn't deserve to be canceled? What if you like incorrectly cancel someone?
All right. I don't want to, again, this is not a political show. I try to stay away from that. This is a place for people to escape. But in regards to cancel culture, I think it's bullshit. Yes, there are people, they have, it's kind of like the term, you know, Karen.
Right.
Karen, literally months ago, not years ago, because this term's kind of just come up within 2020, was kind of just like boomer, just kind of like, but now it's synonymous with racist woman. Yep. They just throw it around. And so I'm like, kind of same with cancel. They kind of, people are using it. There are going to be instances, I guarantee you, say a car wreck, right? And it's not, I get a car wreck. It's not my fault. Fender bender, nothing serious, but it's not my fault. Somebody can pull a phone out
and get you canceled
and claim I did something.
Yep.
Or said something. It's like a witch hunt.
It is. And
it's like calling wolf or whatever. It's literally, and I don't want to stay on it too long. It's so dangerous. And I hate that Twitter and this mob has this ability. Sometimes, it can be used for right reasons. I'm not saying it can't be.
It's because everyone's emotionally driven. That's the thing.
Well, it's because everybody's emotionally driven behind a fucking keyboard.
That too, yeah.
That's why. People aren't afraid to say shit. It was like that the MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And did you see that comment, that tweet, where the guy was talking about how the MMA fighter was like, "Don't get back in the ring, you're washed." Yeah, he cursed out whatever. And then the MMA fighter was like, "I bet you want to say that behind my, like in front of my face." And the guy replied, he was like, "No, you'd kick my ass." Of course not. That's why I'm saying it on Twitter. And I'm like, that's literally cancel. That's literally, people feel like because we have these now, this is a greater weapon than a gun.
I know at certain times for sure. Like you could lose your job and then not ever get a job again. Now to the people that deserve it, they have every right to have that happen to them.
And there are instances that people deserve it. I'm not trying to take away that they do, but I've seen on Twitter where somebody will post a video, 20-second clip, and then the full video gets released. That person's already fired.
Yeah, and it's two completely different videos.
And that's the way the media, that's what people can cut videos. I could cut this video and probably make it out to be I'm a racist.
Yep. Probably not though. I really don't. Actually, no.
I don't think I've said anything bad in this one. I don't think but there's probably a chance somebody could. Somebody's probably talented enough to do that.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just the mob rushes to conclusions a lot of the time. Not saying all the time, a lot of the time when all the facts aren't presented, and then people get canceled for the wrong reasons.
It's like a real life Black Mirror episode. Cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's like you say something wrong, you're like almost dead. That's what it feels like. They're just out for your throat.
Well, it's like cancel's like a term like you are not. We are removing you from society. That is what cancel culture is.
It is, and it's being exiled from society.
Which sounds terrible, doesn't it? All right. Anyway, we'll get off cancel culture. I'm sorry. I don't hate it because again, I understand it can be used for right things, but it's just I hate that. Sometimes it's worse than the gun. People's lives can be affected when they truly have no reason to be. I think people use it when you have a disagreement now. Like if you disagree, you are allowed to. I think people are confused.
It's hard to have an argument these days. Have like a productive like conversation. That's the problem.
Nobody. I'm saying both sides. No matter where you align, because there's dumbasses on both sides where you can't have a productive conversation without the worry of being like they're going to out me or they're going to cancel me for my beliefs. When you can have a disagreement, y'all. But it's also important to realize when you're wrong, it's okay to admit you're wrong. It's okay to change. All right, I need to go off this. This is a different show. All right, but I agree. He doesn't want to get canceled. So he's pushing this narrative where he wants to be on the right side of history. And I think it's stupid because guess what? You weren't feeling this way fucking 10 years ago. So it's kind of a bullshit that you feel that way now. That's my thoughts. I think they should change the name. And this one's been thrown around a lot. I like Washington Warriors. Obviously, it's kind of like Golden State Warriors, so there might be some problems there. But I think it kind of keeps the feel of the whole. Change the logo, of course. You don't keep the logo. Real quick, Cleveland Indians are now reevaluating their name.
Right.
Is that the same as the Washington Redskins?
I do feel like it is.
It's the same. You do feel like it's the same.
I feel like you're taking an ethnic group, or you're taking like.
So does Florida State change their name?
Seminoles.
Because they're honoring the Seminoles that I can't even say it. Say it for me. Seminoles. They're honoring them.
Yeah.
That used to be on that land where Tallahassee.
Right.
Used to was that country.
Right. I mean. Then you have to like sit down and evaluate like a lot of teams, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
At what point do you stop? Now Cleveland Indians? Maybe you change the logo.
I mean, it's just a C right now, right?
There's the C, but there's also the
Indian.
You smiling?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Famous like MLB, like look, yeah.
So, I mean, again, at what point do you say? At that point, everything's offensive. I can probably find I don't know. It's tough. I agree that the Redskins need to change their name because you're literally talking about a person's skin color in your that was a derogatory term at one point. And, I mean, it probably is now. But like it'd be the same if there was a team called the Black Skinned. You can't do that.
Well, no, but I feel like by the end of the day, like it's like with Native Americans specifically, like not only were they like kicked off their own land, but now you have like teams with their names, and like they don't even get anything from that except
true.
So I'm just like, like low key, like the last or the smallest thing you could do is kind of like listen to their plea and be like, all right, like switch the name.
True.
I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. Like like what you said, like in the beginning, like when is it too far? And that like I feel like it's really hard to tell these days. It really is.
The line right now is so blurred. But again, if it offends a group of people, change the fucking name. It doesn't. Guess what? Washington, your sales are going to go up if you change the name. This does not hurt you. This probably only benefits you.
It can't get much worse with Washington.
Try winning a football game. Sorry.
I think Stephen A put it the best. Changing the name could be like this is their best opportunity.
A restart. Hit the restart button. Oh yeah. Do it.
They need this more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be good. I think it's a good. I really do think it's a good thing too. I think you get to how many organizations can be like, nah, we're just going to fucking start over and change our name. Like, no, this is a great chance to, especially like you think the Detroit Lions don't wish they could just change their fucking name and be a totally different team.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
It's because like I mean, at least our generations, we see the Redskins and like immediately picture like a below 500 record and like.
Drafting the top 10 every year.
Yeah, and doing nothing with those top 10.
Hey, they got a lot of Alabama players on that squad, though. Roll Tide! Anyway, let's move on. So, our next segment is MLB. And they announced their schedule last night. So, we're going to call in Mr. Grant Plunkett, who's on the panel on Monday's episode.
What's up?
Oh my God. Is this the Grant Plunkett?
The Grant Plunkett.
So,
What's
Grant,
good?
you are here on X's and O's with Evan and Bros with me, Evan, the host, and Mr. Tahsin Street Spitta Anwar. How you doing?
Good guy. What is up, Evan and Tahsin? It's been a minute, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, dude, I'm doing great. How you been? How you been, Grant?
I'm sitting here looking at the ocean, so I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was at the beach over 4th of July weekend and got a little burnt.
Oh yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that I can't stay. I can't. I'm good for like 2 days, 3 days. Get me the fuck home.
Dude, I hate the sun.
I hate the sun.
I got sunburned last week at the beach, and I'm sunburned again this week, so I'm about done with it too.
Dude, it's just I drank way too much over 4th of July weekend, and I went to the gym yesterday. The minute we got back, and I detoxed. I'm still feeling it, and so I don't want to see a fucking shell Not even the gas station. Get that shit out of here. I'm done. All right. Anyway, Grant, we're here to talk about the MLB. The schedule's released.
It is released.
So can we talk about this real quick? Who ever thought a month ago that baseball was happening in 2020?
Me. I was waiting on it. All right. I've been begging for baseball. And
dude, I thought this was not going to fucking happen. I was like, they're way too far. The NHL's moving along, the NBA's moving along, NFL's like, fuck COVID. And then baseball's starting in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
24th?
It's the 24th. You're right.
That's incredible.
I saw somebody on TV. Yeah, somebody on TV said the MLB schedule being released today is kind of like me seeing my social security numbers. Like, it's cool and all, and I like to see it, but I don't think I'm ever going to see like the results of it.
Yeah. I mean, like it's like saying they were like, all right, just put a date out there. Just put one. You're like,
for real?
Next 2 weeks? How long is the virus in your system? 2 weeks?
Exactly.
Fucking put it on the 24th.
Have you ever seen that video of the kid, like, that house is on fire and he's swinging on the swing and laughing outside of it or something?
I know.
I was like, that's us right now. We're just like, we're swinging on that swing, we're laughing, and they're like, that's the schedule being released, so you don't want to turn around, though.
Well, I'm like, even now, the NBA, which is the first game's the 30th, right? And that's still a while. And they've already reported. Now they haven't released any numbers because players haven't returned to camp yet or the facilities. But
did you see Bradley Beal pulled out?
Yeah. Dwight Howard's playing. So,
There we go. Yeah, the Wizards got invited to a party they didn't want to go to.
Well, yeah, they did. This is not the NBA talk, though. This is MLB talk right now.
All right, I got you.
So, Grant, let's hear your thoughts on the schedule. What do you think is what team? Like, I just feel like this is such a quick turnaround. All these players are going to report in, and there's a larger roster than there is on an NBA roster. So, larger pool of players, and so go ahead.
It's actually crazy because the roster has been expanded. So you have, get this, 60 players you can play. 60.
So what would we guess out of 60 players have COVID?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just sports, dude. Like, everybody's just gonna get it. I don't know, like, why.
Well, I agree, but I mean, have you seen the report that Von Miller is still he still feels symptoms from having it back in March? Because he was one of the first NFL players to come out and get it. Like, he still feels shortness of breath. He's still like it takes
a toll on your system altogether.
I guess so. I mean, I haven't experienced it yet. Knock on wood. I don't have any fucking wood, but it's just, all right, let's talk about it. Okay. So they'll play 40 games, right?
60 games. And
they're playing 60 games total, but they're playing 40 games in their division.
Yeah.
And then they'll play 20 outside. Yeah. Right. So a total of 60 games.
And so the way baseball works is you've got the AL Central, the AL East, and the AL West, and the NL West, and the NL Central, and the NL East. And basically those 20 games are going to be against the opposite division, but in the same region, so they don't have to travel across the country to limit.
Okay.
So it's basically you're playing against 40 games against your own division and 20 games against people in the same kind of region, but in a different league.
So I don't know a lot about baseball. That is no secret. It is probably... I can't even put it on a list of favorite sports because I don't even watch it and like it, and I don't even have a greater understanding of it. But in regards to, if I'm understanding this correctly, baseball is a long-term game. That's why there's 180 games.
163. 162.
See, 62. I'm really showing my knowledge here. So there's 162 games in a normal season, and usually it's about the teams that have the depth that make it into postseason, right? So usually, it's not always. it's not always the team that's leading halfway at the season point trail off.
Yeah.
And they're not the teams that emerge that are going to be the championship teams.
The Braves.
Definitely. And vice versa. Because the Nationals won the World Series last year and they had a losing record. 60 games in.
They're totally different teams by halfway through the season. And halfway this, if you said it's 162, so 81 games.
Yep.
So
it's like basically if the NFL just came out. Yeah, if the NFL came out and said, "Hey, we're actually going to play like 6 games this year."
Well, yeah. I mean,
it's insane.
Can you think about that? Kansas City since 2012 and 2013 were 6-0 to start the season every year. Yep. They would have loved that.
They literally.
Oh yeah. It's going to be nuts, dude.
But so, let me ask you, similar to our NBA question on Monday, what do you think? Who do you think is benefiting the best from this, squads wise? What's the club?
If I had to pick one, it's really going to be about pitching because I'll break it up. Pitching over 162 games, you're having trouble conserving the arms.
Yeah.
Because arms are getting tired. But now you can play your best pitchers and just let it ride because nobody's going to get tired. Yeah. So pitching's at a premium. And I think the Yankees are my favorite. They probably have the best pitcher in baseball, Garrett Cole. But the team that benefits the most, I'm going to go the Rays. They're in the same division as them, and they've probably got the best rotation. They have the best 3 starters.
Tampa Bay Rays.
They've got a really deep bullpen. So I think they're going to be able to make a run at it. But, dude, this year is just pull it out of a hat. It's anybody can do anything in 60 games. I mean, so it's going to be crazy.
Can we talk about real quick? The commissioner for MLB has taken a lot of heat. He's kind of a dumbass. He's no Adam Silver. And so why July 24th? Why such a quick turnaround? It just doesn't, even the NBA announced their schedule.
It has to be a money thing, right?
Are they must TV deals?
Yeah.
Like local TV deals, because that's where a lot of the MLB makes their money, is the local TV stations. So it fascinates me because again, the NBA is still is it going to, you see all these players dropping, right? And so it's will it go?
The MLB has had it too.
So but my point is, this is a way quicker turnaround than the NBA is experiencing.
There's less contact.
Oh, yeah.
Less contact in baseball than there is in football and basketball.
I mean, yeah, but you're still coming in. I'm just saying, it's not like they're doing a bubble scenario with these players like the NBA is. So it's just, it just seems like a hasty decision. Now they must be losing a lot of money. I don't know. I don't have a source that tells me this.
I'm sure they are.
I'm sure everybody's losing money. But this quick turnaround these players, you're seeing it more where a lot of these players are dropping just because they don't want to risk their health. And so, they want their paycheck, but these bigger name players were already questioning it before.
Right.
So it's and people want to see the Trouts play. People want to see these, the bigger name players play. They don't want to see the minor league players play. So it'd just be interesting. I don't understand the quick turnaround. That's what I just don't get. I mean, in 60 games, it sounds like a long time. Sounds like September.
It's not though. It's not though. You've got to play at least 60 games. I think that's why they have to do it so quick. Is they're we have to play as many games as possible because it's just too short in baseball, man.
Well, that's what I heard when they were going back and forth on the number of games. 40 was thrown out there. And they were if you're going to play 40, you might as well not even play the fucking season because it's too little of a games. To
explain that a little bit, it's you know how it's one of the things we love about sports most is that anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Anybody can play better than another team.
Not
but
true,
baseball, Well, but that's a big part of it.
You think the Wizards are going to beat the Lakers?
Well, they can in one game.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying? Like they're not going to beat them in a 7-game series.
There's a chance.
Yeah.
No,
that's just a cool part of sport. But
now when Houston was
in baseball,
isn't the champion cheaters?
Shut up.
And then the champions cheat.
The 2017 chumps. I hate them. All right. Anyways, what I'm saying is, in baseball, you don't even have. You can be worse than the other team, and you can play worse than the other team and still win. You can get dominated for 8 innings, and then one swing of the bat in the 9th inning, and you win. And it's like, oh, okay. And that's part of what I love about it. Is just like, at no point can you just sit back and be like, all right, we can coast. It's like literally just adrenaline rush the whole time while being super chill. I'll explain it. The fact of the matter is, that's why 60 games is too short. But it's going to be exciting.
Okay. If you say
I've never been this excited for a baseball season.
So what you're telling me is we have some content coming our way. You're telling me Exynos is about to fucking blast off?
Oh, dude, this is the most excited I've ever been for a baseball season.
I'm so fucking ready, man.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to watch my first MLB game.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome. I'm imagine like in baseball, like the worst team can roll from the Yankee Stadium, win 3 in a row, and just throw the whole MLB season like on its head.
Haven't the Yankees in the past couple of seasons fucking blown?
No, they've been good.
No, they've been good. That's my point. They have underperformed.
I guess. They've been good. They've been in the playoffs every year.
But they've been the favorites every year.
They're going to be near the favorites every year because they have the highest payroll. But
see, isn't that how there isn't like a salary cap?
Yeah, no salary cap.
So like these players, and he's like the biggest
it's an unfair game.
That's why it's important for some of these squads, like you say, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Oakland A's, like teams like that. This could be their shot. Like they're like, we got 60 games and we can just sprint at it, and anybody can get hot at any time. We might actually win it this year. It's gonna be nuts.
Tahsin, you got anything to say?
Well, Grant, they're changing up some rules too, right? Regarding go ahead.
The rule changes, and I think that's a good thing. I think this year is just kind of like a vacuum, just try stuff you've been wanting to try out. Right. One of the main thing is whenever it goes into extra innings, you start out with a runner on second because they're trying to shorten the games and get all the games over with because you're playing 60 games in 66 days, and that's just ridiculous.
No, I think that's
and you're gonna be like,
I think that's a good rule.
Yeah, I think so too.
And there's also a 3-batter minimum for pitchers now, right?
Yeah, you can't just throw a pitcher in and then let him pitch to one batter and then pull him out. And they made the designated hitter in the National League too. It was just the American League before. So that's going to benefit a lot of like the Dodgers are going to benefit from that rule like crazy. We got a bunch of batters that they don't like. They've got such a loaded lineup. They don't even have places to put them. So it's going to be crazy. I've never been this excited for a baseball season. I'm going to be freaking out the whole time.
All right, Grant. Hey, we got to let you go, buddy.
All right, man. Y'all take it easy. All right.
Thanks for being on.
Love you.
Love you too, buddy. See ya.
Bye.
That was fun. All right. Zion, I owe you an apology. You've released a photo over the weekend. You're looking good. I'm excited for you. Excited for the Pelicans. I owe you an apology. Didn't mean what I said. Titty's looking tight. Keep it going, big man. I'm rooting for you.
He's fun to watch.
He is.
It's fun to watch.
He is.
You never know what you're going to get.
We're getting a slim Zion now, though.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's this episode of X and O's Evan and Bros. Tahsin, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Trey Money. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Spotify. Find me on Apple Music. Anywhere, dude. Just type
all the platforms, bro.
All the platforms.
Just like us.
Just like.
All right. See you guys on Friday.